Oh, and we're going to play Rule the Waves 2 as Japan. It's 1900 start, and we're playing as Japan. That's okay. And we're going to play on a large fleet size with harsher peace deals. But all the other settings will be as normal. And we're playing as Kabutono. Looking to our starting position, we have 3 battleships. We've got a monthly balance of 212, and we've got a little bit of funds, but not very many. We're building 2 battleships and a heavy cruiser. If we look at the almanac to see what the other powers have got, our biggest rivals are Germany with 6 and Russia with 9. The reason they're our rivals is when you look on the map, we're here. That's where we can invade. And we've got Germany here in Kiachu Bay, and Russia here in Liaotang Peninsula and Sakhalin. Now we're probably going to be fighting our first war against one of those 2 powers, so we need to have a look at what sort of ships they've got. As I've said, Germany's got more ships than us. Their battleships have all got a speed of 18 with 9-inch to 11-inch guns. Russia's have all got a speed of 19 with 12-inch guns, so they're more powerful, and there's more of them. Our first step, therefore, must be to build more battleships, and to do that, the first thing we need to do is to free up some money. To free up money, we're going to put some of our ships in mothballs or reserve. So let's do that. Having done that, we now have a balance of 1,000 every month, so that's plenty of money, so we can make our first move. Private shipbuilding is expanding, our dock size is getting bigger, and we also want to build bigger docks ourselves, which we'll be able to do fairly soon. There has been a political murder in the Balkans. What can we do? That gives us more budget, but also gives us tension. That reduces our prestige, which we don't want to do. And that gives us more tension. I think we're going to go for the budget. And now we can build bigger docks. It's also time for us to increase our research. So let's have a look at research. Now, some of these need to be high priorities. If you make everything a high priority, it doesn't help you because it just splits your money equally above everything. So we need to make everything that's not a high priority a low priority. So, machinery development wants to be a high priority because we want steam turbines. Fire control wants to be a high priority, so because we want to be able to hit our targets. Ship design wants to be a high priority because it allows us to build ships with extra turrets and other goodies. There's lots of goodies with ship design. It means we can design better ships. Torpedoes are very useful. The advantage of torpedo technology is that if your existing ships have got torpedoes, then when the torpedo technology increases, your existing ships automatically get better torpedoes. So that's a good one to have. And we also need naval guns because we've only got 10-inch guns at the moment. Also, a lot of our guns are low quality, so we need higher quality guns. So that's our research done. And we've got the delays in our heavy cruiser. So looking at what we're building 2 battleships and 1 heavy cruiser. We can actually build some destroyers, and we certainly need destroyers. So let's build some destroyers now. That puts us slightly in a deficit, but in six months' time we'll finish this battleship, so that should be okay. We don't want to raise tensions over Cuba. It's far away from us, and we don't really care. And the USA's got Cuba. There has been an uprising in Chinese province. Do we send a gunboat, which gives us tension, a cruiser, more tension, and a battleship, even more tension, but budget as well? Cruiser and battleship are both tension of 2. I think we're just going to send a gunboat. I don't really want to start a war yet because we need to build lots more destroyers and battleships and such like. Do we care about Italy? We don't really care what they think. Italy's not a very big power and they're not very close to us anyway, so it doesn't really matter what they think. Similarly, Algeria is pretty far away, so we don't really care. France has taken control of Albania. Well, good for France. And we haven't got Krupp armour yet, but we're still researching into that. Let's have a look at our construction. Britain has laid down some ships, including a CA and they've commissioned 2 light cruisers. And our Mikasa has commissioned. That gives us a bit more money. And do we want to go to war with Germany? Well, looking at their budget, it's a lot higher than us. Russia's budget is a lot higher as well. But Russia has more ships, so maybe a war with Germany first will be better. But we're not really prepared for a war. We've still only got 14 destroyers. Even with those ones, we'll still only have 23. And we could probably do with a few more battleships. So I think we don't want to raise tensions just yet. So we're going to handle that quietly and discreetly. And our scientists are baffled by lyddite bursting charges. Our relations with Russia have taken a turn for the worse. Well, that's a shame because we'd really prefer a war with Germany. It's now time, as this battleship is about to become ready, that we need to look at building more battleships. Now, looking at what we've got, these are all 19 knots. That's an 18 knot. Looking at the Russian ones, they're all 19, and the Germans are 18. So I think we want ones that have a speed of at least 20. So let's base our new battleships on this existing Yashima design. That's in the USA. Where else can we build? We could build it in Britain, France, USA, Italy, and the one we've got best relations with is either the USA or Italy. Let's have a look at the USA. They've probably got slightly better technology than Italy. We could move that up to 12-inch guns. Our secondary armament, 6-inch. Our tertiary armament, 4-inch. And if we built them locally, we'd only have a very small displacement to work with. Now, it would be nice to have 7.5-inch armour, so let's make our belt armour 7.5-inch. Also, the conning tower and turrets will also have 7.5-inch armour. And we're not going to have any extended armour because it uses up too much weight. We'll put that down to 2. Secondary is going to have 3 inches of armour. It would be nice if we could have more armour, but there's a limit to what you can have with the weight. So let's put this up to 1400, because we're allowed 1400. And let's see how fast we can make them. We have 21 knots. Yes, we can, just about. Can we have more torpedo tubes? Yes. Let's. And we need a new name for the ship. We'll call it the Iki. Does that work? Yes, it does. Can we have more 6-inch guns? Not really, because then we'd have less 4-inch. I think that's about as good as we're going to get, really. It's not a wonderful ship. It's quite fast, but lacks secondary armament. Well, the tertiary armament is okay, but it's still only 4 inches. It's an okay ship. Let's go with it. And that will take 3 months to do, by which time a lot of these will have been built. So let's Move on. We've discovered a spy from Germany. We don't want a war with them yet, so we'll just have to go on. Getting some good developments. We've got valuable insights into US turret and gun technology. That's good. We don't want bad relations with the USA, so we're going to have to. That gives us a prestige hit. That's going to go down to 18 now, which is bad because it means that if it goes below about 17 or 16, you can get the sack. So we need to watch out for our prestige. Let's look at the build screen for the E key, and we can build some more. So we can build another one, which we're going to call the Aki. And so gives us 956. We could build another one once this Yakumo goes through, or we could build destroyers. I'm going to build destroyers because I think they're more important. Right, so let's play the next go. We've got hydraulic recoil, makes our turrets a bit better. Fleet tactics. Let's have a look at fleet tactics. We're going to give that a low at the moment, so it doesn't take too much priority away from other stuff. Yakumo has commissioned, which is good. We've got some tax revenue. We can strengthen the navy, which gives us prestige. Build railroads gives us budget but no prestige, and that reduces our prestige. So we need to strengthen the navy. And now we've got more money, so I'm going to build a class of corvettes. Let's build ship, design ship, and it's going to be a corvette, and the auto design, we'll put that down to 600. We'll give it 2 4-inch and 2 3-inch guns, minesweepers, and a speed of 23. And we'll call it the minesweeper class. Oops. And we'll build about 6 of those. And we'll now build some minesweepers. So these are our minesweepers here. We've got plenty of money. We don't need more. Well, about 7 is probably about as many as we need to start off with, so that works well for us. And the other thing we can do this month is increase the size of the docks. Germany has laid down a CA, France a battleship, and our construction is delayed on this corvette. So the next thing we're going to do is see what money we can save. We can put a few more of these ships into mothballs. That saves us a little bit more money, which we can then do to build some more destroyers. And the government doesn't like that, so we'll have to take that one out of mothballs. And can we do that now? Yes, we can. We can build bigger destroyers, but for now we're going to keep building the existing destroyers. So that's another 2 destroyers. So that's all for now, and hopefully that gives a few ideas on how to start a game of real waves as Japan. As I said, the first thing that I did that was important was to put a lot of these in mothballs or reserves. That saves a lot of money, and now I'm building battleships and destroyers. I'm also building some corvettes. The corvettes are important because they're needed to put into trade protection when you go to war.